In a shocking twist to the 2020 U.S. presidential election aftermath, Donald Trump and his allies, including his attorney Rudy Giuliani, masterminded an elaborate fraud to overturn Joe Biden's victory. They falsely claimed Trump's win in 7 key states and pushed Vice President Pence to count these bogus votes, a move known as the Pence Card. This scheme, part of broader efforts to subvert the election, led to multiple indictments and ongoing investigations, including by the January 6 committee and the Smith Special Counsel. Central to the plot was a fringe legal theory by Trump lawyer John Eastman, later debunked. Trump, fully aware of the illegality, pressured officials and drafted letters to propagate election fraud lies. The extent of this unprecedented plot continues to unfold. The following footage was released by the January 6 committee where Matt Morgan explains the plan. Rudy Giuliani is also questioned. But to no one's surprise, he does not say anything.
What was the initial conception?
My understanding, as best I can recall, in late November or early December, Ken Chesebro had written a memo about electors. And my initial conversations with Justin Clark were that Justin asked me to look into the matter as a contingency. If somehow the campaign was able to win in Wisconsin, then the votes of the electors would be submitted. So I viewed it initially as a contingency exercise, and if X, then Y exercise. If Judge Troupas wins his litigation in Wisconsin, then these contingent electors should have voted to be prepared for if there was a switch.
In particular, I wanted to draw your attention to what's the second paragraph. It starts, I spoke this evening with Mayor Giuliani, who is focused on doing everything possible to ensure that all the Trump-Pence electors vote on December 14th. He is hopeful that the Georgia electors will go along with this strategy. You see that?
I do.
Yeah, what's your reaction to reading that statement?
I mean, it's consistent with my understanding of who was driving the process. That was Mayor Giuliani and his team.
When do you recall this idea of Trump electors meeting in states that he had lost to cast electoral votes first coming up?
That would be privilege.
Who was involved in that effort to have these Trump electors meet and cast votes in those states that I listed from your team?
That would also be privilege.
And what was your role, if any, in having alternate electors meet in states that Mr. Trump had lost, including Pennsylvania?
The 5th.
Did you discuss the alternate electors plan with President Trump, either before or after the electors met and cast votes on December 14th, 2020?
The 5th.
And in this email, Mr. Finley wrote, Rudy's team has designated Ken Chesebro as the point person for the legal documents and Mike Roman as the lead for executing the voting on Monday. Both are copied here and can assist in resolving outstanding issues in your state. Is it accurate that Mr. Giuliani designated you as the lead for executing the voting by alternate electors in advance of December 14th and the meeting of the Electoral College?
The 5th.
Was it surprising to you to see that John Eastman and Rudy Giuliani and others associated with them were, sort of pointing to these alternate slates in the context of the joint session?
Once again, it depends on what you mean by surprising, right? So on the one hand, it seems like it was even a long shot when we were talking about it on December 7th or 8th, right? Like it was a long shot even then. At some point in the campaign, though, nothing really became surprising.